Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for clicking on the video. And today we're talking about World War 3. Lord knows I've been asked to cover this game so many times and I haven't. I've watched a couple of trailers. I thought the gameplay looked good. It looked like Battlefield in its prime. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, the modern military shooter that Battlefield, the peaked at. Then I went back to World War 1, it was good. Now I've done World War 2, which is just fucking shit. Battlefield 5 is dreadful. And this game is for people who don't want Black Ops 4, they don't want Battlefield 5, they just want that solid multiplayer FPS experience. And it looks like it's going to deliver on that. And it's going to be half the fucking price of Battlefield 5 and Black Ops 4. And you can see why it's half the price. It's not a AAA developed game and it only has multiplayer. There's no single player. It's going to be £19. £19 when it launches, which is around $38. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, get the damn currency exchange. I'll Google it, Google what the fucking exchange rate is, it changes all the damn time. But for a game which looks fucking solid, that's a damn good price. Now I do have my concerns with this game and I'm going to highlight them. And I know some of you are going to think, you just fucking hate everything, you hate everything. I don't. Trust me, I'm excited for this game. It looks like Battlefield 3. It truly looks like Battlefield 3 and 4. When they were great, the guns look similar, graphically it looks amazing. But the developers, this is where I get a little bit worried. The developers haven't made a game as big as this before. This game's anticipated by millions of damn people who are pissed off with Battlefield 5 and pissed off with Black Ops 4. So they're going to flock to this game in massive numbers. Can the servers handle it? Are the games developers prepared for this many people to buy the game on the first day? There's forums dedicated to this game on Reddit where people are like, fuck Battlefield 5, fuck Black Ops 4, I'm buying World War 3 and I'm going to support the little man. There's nothing wrong with supporting the little man, but it's whether the servers are going to hold this, and I'm a bit concerned. Yeah, you can fix servers. Battlefield 4 was dreadful on launch and it lost a lot of damn money because it was dreadful on launch. Hopefully, World War 3, they don't make the same damn mistakes and they don't have the money that EA and DICE had to pump into Battlefield 4. That's what makes me concerned, lads. Now, lads, when it comes to this game, I'd never heard of the developers. The Farm 51. I'm sure lots of you have never heard of the developers. Give them a Google. I'm sure you won't recognise lots of their games. And this is where you've got to be concerned. How many studios nail it on the first attempt at a massive game? I know that this is the biggest budget they've ever had for any of their games. And it's still not a massive budget when you compare it to AAA published games. And they're going the self-publishing route. They're publishing this game themselves. They've done a decent amount of marketing. I do get the occasional advert on YouTube and websites which have Google ads enabled, and they're doing well. Marketing-wise, they're doing well for a self-publishing game. Now, this is where it kind of gets good. They're staying away from greedy ass publishers. No Activision, no EA, no Warner Bros, no Take-Two. So, microtransactions, they seem to be absent from this game. I'm sure they'll come in later, sometime later in its life, for cosmetics, to keep the game servers alive, to keep people buying things once they've purchased the game itself. This is where games usually make the mistake of putting in microtransactions on launch. Cosmetic microtransactions, I've said before, I don't give a shit. As long as they don't give somebody the advantage in-game, I'll still fuck them up, or I'll still get fucked up. I don't care. As long as I enjoy my time in the game, I couldn't give a shit. Now, the reason I'm so excited for this game is it's taking it back to team-based combat. Battlefield's been absent of this since Battlefield 4. Hardline, you didn't need a team. Battlefield 1, you didn't need a team. You could just do everything solo. And it fucks me off. Why make a team-based game? Well, that's what it originally started as, Battlefield. Then they went gradually, and closer to Call of Duty for that fucking money. That's all they want, that money. They've seen how well Call of Duty does. They want those numbers, and it's just got worse and worse and worse, year after year after year, with the expansions, with the games themselves. I mean, DICE didn't even make Battlefield Hardline. It was Visceral Games, which were known for horror games. And EA forced them to make a fucking Battlefield game just to milk the franchise that little bit more. And Battlefield's just that much closer to fucking dying as a franchise altogether. Battlefield 5 is going to be the worst selling Battlefield since Bad Company 2. Bad Company 2 didn't sell a lot of copies, but it was the best Battlefield ever in my opinion. And that was due to Modern Warfare 2 and its success. It just ran that year. Everyone wanted Modern Warfare 2. If you were offered the choice between Bad Company 2 and Modern Warfare 2, and you don't know what Battlefield really is, you're going to take Modern Warfare 2 9 times out of fucking 10. And that's the problem EA had in the past. Now Battlefield's a more well-established franchise. They're milking it. They're milking it to the fucking grave, putting women in it. They're doing all this bullshit stuff. And World War 3 isn't doing that. It's a realistic, modern FPS shooter. And for that price, and it being self-published, I'm excited. Again, I'm just a bit concerned about the servers holding up. And we've got a release date of the 19th of October. So you've just got less than a month to wait, and it's in a busy damn launch window that. You've got Battlefield launching in November. You've got Black Ops 4 launching on October the 11th. You've got Red Dead Redemption launching later in October. Holy shit. How many games do they want to compete with? They must be confident of their product to go up against those three big boys. Battlefield 5, regardless, it's going to be a big game. I'd say it's in the top 5 best-selling games of this year, but it's not going to sell nowhere near as many as Black Ops 4 or Red Dead Redemption 2. But holy shit, going up against Black Ops 4 when it's got Blackout, which everybody seems to be excited about, you've got some fucking balls. You have got some balls. And Red Dead Redemption, potentially the game of the year or the game of the decade. Whoo! You guys have got the biggest fucking balls of any damn publisher, developer, whatever the fuck you want to say, I've ever seen. And props to you. Props to you. You must be really confident in your game to put it up against those fucking behemoths. I'll say, if I was a games developer, I sure as shit wouldn't release my most anticipated game alongside 3 massive fucking behemoth games. You guys got the big damn balls. Holy fuck, lads, it's just dawned on me. Insurgency Sandstorm releases 2 months after as well, which is another highly realistic FPS game. They are going all guns out, guns blazing. We're going to take everybody fucking down. Those games are the ones I'm most excited for. Insurgency, first one was fantastic. 2, 1 bullet, you died. It wasn't like, take a full fucking round to the chest. Let me just get around, let me just, Bob, come on, throw me a fucking med kit, let's get around this corner, and I'll be fine. No, it was realistic. You got shot, you fucking died. You didn't just go around the corner and go, stop breathing heavy, and then, see, you're on full fucking health. Yeah, that's fucking realistic, innit, lads? Same sort of shit for World War 3. Realistic, accurate locations, real life locations, real life guns. They've done all the bullet drop and things in real life. There's going to be a bullet drop in the game. You can customize what you're wearing to a certain extent. Not like Battlefield 5. You can put fucking robot arms on and war paint, which just wasn't a thing in World War II. They want to stay authentic. And this is where publishers and developers are sneaking in on the market, because Call of Duty and Battlefield are fucking over the consumers by not giving them authentic FPS games. This is where the little guys are making a stand. They can offer authentic World War II game, FPS game, whatever. And people are going to flock to that game just for that authentic experience. The risk is the game might not hold out. Like Battalion 1944, that game died in 2 months. It died. They just stopped updating it. They just didn't give a fuck. I genuinely see people who care about the game they're putting out on World War 3. They care. It looks like they care about the game. Again, it'll all be seen 2 months after launch. We'll see if the game is dead. We'll see if it's got a strong player base. And we'll see if they're still going to have us constant updates. Because if they run and take the money, I will fucking make a video destroying those motherfuckers. But if they support it, I'll support them as well. And I'm always a supportive person. If a game is good, I'll tell you it's fucking good. Anyway, lads, World War 3, go and pre-order it. Go and pre-order it if you want an authentic FPS game. I'll tell you to pre-order a game when it's only £19 and you're supporting an indie developer. If it's a AAA developer, don't fucking pre-order. Fuck those guys. Okay, lads, so this is embarrassing. I completely forgot to mention the actual game modes that are going to be available on launch. Now, don't quote me 10 months down the line. This is just at launch. There's just going to be 2 game modes. One's large scale, one's small scale. Remind me of Battlefield. Yes, it reminds everyone of Battlefield. Okay, so the 2 game modes are going to be Warzone and Recon. Recon is the small scale one, and Warzone is the large one with vehicles, inventory. You've got everything going on. You've got the planes, you've got the tanks, you've got the quads, and then Recon is going to be 2 small teams competing for high value targets. The first to get the high value targets the fastest wins the game mode. I'm personally fine with just 2 game modes on launch. Just focus on making them fantastic. and I'm definitely going to purchase this game just purely to support an indie developer and the price. And if I don't like it, if you've got less than a couple hours on Steam, you can just refund it. So if you're buying it on PC, on Steam, just refund it, lads. If you don't fucking like it, Steam always honour their refund system. And it's what I love about PC gaming. If you don't like the game, you can always just fucking refund it. But shit, I'm excited for this. There looks to be so many new innovative gameplay mechanics which Battlefield and Call of Duty still haven't implemented. And this game has like a quarter of the budget of Battlefield 5 or Black Ops 4. It blows my mind. Graphically, it does look very similar to Battlefield 3. If you go on the actual YouTube video, YouTube's actually identified it as Battlefield 3. I can see where people are comparing it to Battlefield 3. It does look a lot like it, I'm not going to lie, but that only means good things. It does only mean good things, and it means they've drawn inspiration from one of DICE's best pieces of work. The last two pieces have not been very damn good. Anyway, lads, I'll see you all in the next video.
These girls wanna tie a kid down and keep me around, but I would never change. I'm a dog, I'm a hound, but I tell them what they wanna hear. They like how it sounds till I'm gone with the wind and I'm lost, never found. I met her at my show, then we smashed right after. If we go 3 rounds, then she fall in love faster. Very next morning, I'm Casper in another city.